She moved into my home. Now, half my family has criminal records. I'm Oliver Grant, 29, a software engineer who finally scraped together enough to buy a 2-bedroom flat in Capitol Hill, Seattle. My first place that felt indisputably mine. Growing up, my parents, Harold and Linda, treated my younger sister Tessa like the sun and me like weather to be tolerated. She crashed cars, they called it bad luck. I worked double shifts, they called it expected. 2 weeks into a work trip to San Francisco, food poisoning sent me home early. At 11 p.m., I opened my door and knew instantly something was wrong. Perfume I'd never smelled, a jacket I'd never worn, reality television chattering on my television, makeup trays on the dining table, wine bottles, shopping bags, shoes, and then a scream from my bedroom. Tessa stumbled out in my t-shirt and pajama shorts. "Ollie, you're early," she said. Our mother had given her permission plus a key. I'd never given my parents a key. The only spare sat in a coded lockbox in the utility room, known only to me and the building manager, Mr. Keene. "Out," I said. She rolled her eyes. "Don't be dramatic. You weren't using it." I called 911. When Officers Wynn and Price arrived, I showed my lease, my flight receipt, and most damning camera footage of Tessa hauling in suitcases days earlier. "Are you on the lease?" Price asked. "No," she whispered. "They arrested her for criminal trespass." "Ah." By morning, my phone lit like a slot machine. Aunts, cousins, my parents, all calling me cruel. Not one asked if I was safe. Mr. Keene admitted he'd once mentioned the lockbox to my parents when they popped by with cookies. The cookies, apparently, were reconnaissance. I upgraded everything: new locks, cloud cameras, doorbell alerts, and hired Ava Sterling, an attorney with a voice like a scalpel. We filed for restraining orders. Meanwhile, Tessa posted selfies from my bedroom calling herself homeless by family betrayal and started a GoFundMe. It was removed within hours when Ava sent the case file. Court came fast. Tessa arrived with a private lawyer and tears. Judge Marisol Benton looked over the footage, the posts, the texts, and asked a single question. Is there any written consent from the leaseholder? Silence, trespass, guilty. Probation, community service, a record. My parents erupted. Blood is thicker than water as bailiffs moved them toward the door. I served them with a civil suit in the hallway, conspiracy to trespass, harassment, and interference with employment. Their midday visit to my office had forced security to escort them out while they told my boss I was mentally unwell. He backed me. They did not. The harassment spiked, then curdled. A cousin created a Justice for Tessa group that doxed my address. Police added it to the file. An uncle privately messaged me. "Good for you. They tried this with grandma. Patterns at last were visible in daylight." 3 months later, the judge awarded me damages and fees. Tessa violated the restraining order twice. The second time, she turned up at my car park with a bat. Jail followed. My parents, leveraged and livid, filed for bankruptcy. I took a transfer to Austin, bought a small house with biometric locks, and started again. Therapy helped me name what my family called loyalty, and what it actually was: entitlement. On a warm Texas evening, I stood in my quiet kitchen and listened to a sound I hadn't heard in years. Nothing and no one crossing a boundary I didn't open. The key they used wasn't mine. The door I closed was.